Welcome to Broda Journal Series podcast, where truth is acknowledged, while silence is felt. I am flesh and blood just as you are. Your name may be this, and yours might be that. But mine is whatever you call me, and my last name remains kept against. I'll be talking about insecurity versus opportunity today. The price of farming in Nigeria. I walked away from a 25-acre cassava business because fear became stronger than opportunity. People often look at successful farmers and assume the journey is always inspiring, smooth, and profitable. What many do not see are the abandoned dreams, the silent fears, and the opportunities that was destroyed not by lack of knowledge or effort, but by insecurity. A few years ago, I was offered the opportunity to manage a 25-acre cassava project deep inside Ogene Forest, Kogi State in Nigeria. For me, it was more than just a job. It felt like destiny unfolding opportunity. The project was designed to supply cassava to a major chemical processing company in Jamaica, one of the chemical industries there, for dry peeled cassava production. Everything about the offer looked promising. My monthly salary had already been agreed upon, 300k a month. Transportation was covered, medical care was covered, security arrangements were promised, and beyond the salary, I was entitled to 5% of the project's profit. For a young Nigerian passionate about agriculture, this was the kind of opportunity capable of changing an entire life story. Preparation had already begun. Herbicides were purchased. Operational plans had been drafted. The land clearing process had started. Everything was moving exactly as planned. But there was one problem bigger than investment, larger than opportunity, bigger than ambition, and wider than the fertile forest itself. Number one problem is insecurity. Number two problem is insecurity. And the only problem is insecurity. There was a notorious S-man in the area known as Liga. The moment news spread that a large cultural project was coming into Ogene Forest, threat began to surface. At first, I believed peace and dialogue could solve this situation, but sometimes peace will not always be captured in sources, and dialogue will always be apprehended by violence. I attempted to reach the paramount ruler of the community. Open mediation could prevent conflict. I got no access. I then tried another route through a friend who served as a secretary within the Magban Association. Magban is Miyetti Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria. Still nothing changed. Instead, the threats intensified. Day after day, tension filled the atmosphere surrounding this project. Then came the moment that changed everything. One afternoon, my mother received a phone call. The message was brief but terrifying. Tell your stubborn son to stay away from Ogene Forest or you will bury him. This is from a Nigerian to a Nigeria, so to say. My mother called me immediately. The moment she repeated those words, every confidence I had disappeared. I sat quietly and began asking myself difficult questions. What is the value of money if I am not alive to spend it? What is the value of ambition if it leads to an early grave? There was no amount of motivation that will encourage me at this moment. Yes, the salary was attractive. Yes, the project had enormous financial potential. But none of it was worth more than my life. That day, I made one of the hardest decisions of my life. I abandoned the project. And just like that, the opportunity died, the investment died, the dream died. Not because we lacked agricultural knowledge, not because the soil was infertile, But because insecurity defeated investment and anxiety pied opportunity. This is the painful reality many Nigerians or young Nigerians face today. People constantly ask, why are youth not going into agriculture? The answer is simple. Many young people are willing to work hard, to work smart. Many are willing to take financial risks. Many are willing to invest their energy into farming or other things provided it fetches money. But very few are willing to risk being paid for trying to become better and to be a better person in the society. To me now, every abandoned farm represents lost jobs. Every frightened farmer weakens national food security. Every investor chased away by violence pushes rural development further backward. Nigeria has the land. Nigeria has the manpower. Nigeria has the climate. Yes. Nigeria has the potential to feed itself and even feed part of Africa, even the rest of the world. But no agricultural vision or ideas can thrive where fear becomes stronger than hope. Looking back today, I still feel the pain of what could have been a turnaround for me and my nation, my family. Yet above all, I remain grateful to God for preserving my life. Sometimes the greatest harvest is simply surviving to see another day. That was a true story of a man's ordeal. Most people in Nigeria has trivialized situations shared like this. In the wake of insurgency in Nigeria, bandits were getting stronger and now becomes another nightmare not to ever see. Voting for incompetence in the name of party system or structure is also trivializing the possibility of catastrophe we may encounter in the future. Because these people are not ready to work. They just sit there, do nothing. Literally nothing. Once we overlook it, it then becomes a headline story that we cannot overlook. Herdsmen has been a devastating issue in Nigeria, that some people benefit from its trouble. This is the reality. Some people actually benefit from this mess of a thing. Farmers herders clash. In Nigeria is where opportunity usually meets fears. Either your land is grabbed by land grabbers or you are simply chased out of your properties without any legal proceedings. In Nigeria is where the people who should correct situation campaign for re-election while the people who will vote them are being paid on a daily basis. Welcome to Nigeria. In Nigeria, someone once said, only a mad fellow understands the Nigeria of today. Today, you will hear that Omonilekon has sent a message to you to stop working on your land, even though his father does not even own anything. But the situation that is beyond a government intervention means war or crisis. I went through the story's thread on Facebook to know if the story was true and if there are other related issues. I got everything I needed to know. That the issue is not farmers and herders clash, but its leadership and Nigeria's corrupt system that has refused to lawfully address this issue. The question is that, has the government been able to curb this issue of herdsmen and farmers clash? The issue is that when farmers are unable to venture into its business because of insecurity and threat to life, then it means development in that area is abated. This is a major concern that a meaningful government should focus on, as it is a crisis that has and will continue to abort great dreams of young and aspiring Nigerian farmers. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, why did you take the position to fail as a minister? Joining the people that has failed and will continue to fail. Why do you want to become a minister that will fail? Because you do not even know that you have failed. How can you explain your position to every Nigerian to understand, to the public? Because things are happening, it keeps happening, and under your watch, there is no control under your watch. Is there no responsible minister in this administration of APC? Can we really point to one person who is doing excellently well? It's either they grab your land or they make traveling their habit. This is irresponsible. When a system has empowered people who should fail to perform, yet obligated to get paid, to get their salaries. Every arm and sector of the government has failed the public. This is the truth that you are unwilling to listen to. And you are unwilling to even improve or adjust. Every arm and sector of the government has failed the public. You better be packing your luggages in the office and be ready to exit and be ready to answer to the projects done with those funds you were given. Bricklayers too, be ready to construct a very serious prison for this bunch of corrupt administration. That is where their hand should be, in the prison. They should end in prison and rot in prison, because you cannot lead people with corruption and expect them to follow you, to be at peace with you. Thank you for watching. See you next Thursday, and bye for now.